was 3 years ago when I had just turned 77. That is my mother, uh, Dorothy Schönebeck-Polsander. She was 20 years old when I was born. That is a picture taken when I was 2 years old, and as I was told, very afraid of the photographer who had to go under the black hood to take a picture. This is my husband's family, George and Emma Reinhard Schumann. This is Marlena and her little sister Ingrid. I'm about 7 years old and Ingrid is 4. This was when my little brother was added. It's Marlena and Ingrid and Hans-Achim. Here are the three of us in the woods near our home, riding a fallen log. This is my sister Ingrid and I. We're doing a little skit. I'm the one in the top hat. Here I'm proudly displaying my scholar cap, my first day of high school. The lady on the far right is my aunt, my father's sister, and I was visiting her during vacation. This is some of that time spent there, sitting beside the river that flowed through that little village. My mother and I sharing, pushing the baby buggy and the stroller. Okay. I'm 14 years old in this picture. The blouse I'm wearing was made from an old dress my aunt had given me. My husband at 6 months of age, his mother Emma Schumann took him to a baby contest, beautiful baby contest, and took him home without entering him because the other babies she saw were much fatter. Here is Hiram and his sister Lydia. Hiram as he looked when he left for his mission to Germany. He was 22 years old. That is my sister Heidi and my brother Gerd. They have switched clothes. They're in the neighbor's yard. This is Marlena on her 16th birthday. And in the garden of our house. I am 17 in this picture in the park in my hometown of Celle. This is about half a year later, also in Celle, in the same park. And this is my family, my parents, my brothers and sisters. I'm standing in the rear behind my mother. Here I am, 17 or barely 18 years old with all my siblings. This is a picture of Hiram in Germany during his mission time, taken in the garden of some relatives. My mother and I sitting at the table in the living room in the Mühlenstraße in Celle. Hiram studying while on his mission. And I think he was in Göttingen at that time. I think this also is taken in Göttingen. I think at the farm of his relatives. I was working at the Lutheran parish office at the time this picture was taken. I was 17 years old. This was in April of 1939, after Hiram had come to get me. Here he is holding my little sister Heidi and my little brother Gerd. And I was 18 when this was taken, and I had it taken to send to him in America after he had returned home. This is the dentist's office where I worked as a dental assistant. That's me standing in the doorway. My little sister Heidi and my brother Hans Achim and little brother Gerd, who died a short time later. This is my parents' family, all of us there. This is a page of Harum's passport, which he had to have renewed every few months during his stay in Germany as a missionary, and then had to have it renewed again when he came to get me. This is the day after he arrived in Germany, the 2nd of April 1939, to take me home. And this was the marriage certificate. Here we are going to be married. This is right after we were married in the old castle, which was begun in 1200 something. And here I'm standing way above the Weser River on this wall. The SS Washington, the ship that Hiram made 4 Atlantic crossings in to go on his mission, to return home, to get me, and then return again. Hiram, his dad and I, on a windy, windy day aboard ship, just before I had my long hair cut. Oh, about when the weather got really hot in Tremonton. Entering Utah, looking around and being very, very dismayed at what I saw. Neighbors came on a Saturday evening, grabbed me, put me in one car and Hiram in another, and then at the end of town they had this buggy waiting and he had to pull me through town. And the sheriff rode ahead and cleared the way for us. And then afterwards we had cake and ice cream, which the neighbors had brought, trying out the old mowing machine. Horse-drawn still. Just not too long before Celia was born in Tremonton. This picture I had taken to send home to my family, and when I showed the proofs to my father-in-law, he said, "Now which one do you want? The one where you look pretty or the one where you look natural?" This is my sister Ingrid, my brother Aki, Heidi and Johnny, after Gretchen had already passed away. Way up on the hills in Blue Creek in the spring when there were flowers blooming. Celia and Dallas and Venna and Helen the baby are with me here in Tremonton. After we had the house remodeled and put in the nice new front, I posed there for this picture for Hiram. This is in Clover Valley, Nevada, on a cold Easter day. And this is on an afternoon we took a drive and over to Ruby Valley and through Secret Pass. This is that same blustery Easter day in Clover Valley. A scene I love to look at through the dining room windows from the ranch house. There was that little pond and the aspen trees. The Clover Valley Cemetery where Hiram is buried behind that big pine tree which I planted years ago as a little tree. The family home in Clover Valley where we had many happy and interesting times. Dallas, the interesting part of this picture is one of his siblings wrote behind it in a childish hand, "Dallas is a dumb dope." Celia by a frozen water pipe on a cold, cold Clover Valley winter. uh, Hiram and Harold Perkins, and Ingrid with her little daughter Christine and I. Hiram showing a bull at the Elko County Fair, a Hereford bull. This family picture was taken before Reed was born. Rolf is the baby there. And this picture was taken outside by our front, in our front yard. This was a picture we had taken to put on a Christmas card. Reed is the baby. The twins, Catherine and Karen, and neither they nor I can tell you for sure who is who here. But anyhow, we know Rolf is in the middle. This is Hiram. This was another Easter day. A few years later. On a trip to Yellowstone with Grandma and Grandpa Schumann. My three sons, Dallas and Rolf and Reed, the youngest. Rolf is suffering from no teeth. The last family picture we had taken, and a few days after Hiram died, Reed looked at it and said, "Now I'll never sit on his lap again." The Schumann family at their golden wedding, Dallas and the mule he broke. They were equally stubborn, but Dallas won. Rolf and I and Reed in the Peowa Church House. Here I am in Sitka, Alaska, with a nice catch of crab. This is the day Adam was blessed. Adam Cahoot, my little grandson, in their backyard. This was one of our Christmas parties. This was at Helen's house, and I am there with all my grandchildren. This was taken that same day. And this was the day Sarah was sealed to her parents in the Mentai temple. My mother is at the left. This was another family Christmas party, and we are all there. This is my mother when she was 80 years old. Did not have a gray hair. This is my last day at work at the church offices. I'm the right hand in front. This is my daughter Venna and my sister-in-law Susie Schumann. My mother on her 80th birthday at a family dinner in the Lion House. I'm with her there. This is at my condo in Bonneville Tower, where I lived for 17 years. This was a fun experience. This was at Lane's farewell as he left for his mission with all my grandchildren, here with all my granddaughters. And here I am with my sister Ingrid. Ingrid Perkins. This was the day I should have celebrated my 50th wedding anniversary, but we remembered the day anyhow by going to the temple and getting together at Kathy's house. My daughter Venna Ballard and her family. I made a trip to New York to visit Aki and Havi, and this is Karen and me at the Rhine in the little city of Rüdesheim. Mark is leaving on a mission, and I'm helping to send him off at the airport. Helen and Christian and the all-important dog and cat. This was the day before Helen underwent surgery. Here I am 6 years ago, so that was 1994, at my old home in Germany. Karen and I, high above the Rhine, during a rainy, rainy day. Okay, I was born in my grandmother's house, which was built in 1622, and the woman's name of the couple who erected the building was Marlena. Therefore, I was given the name Marlena. Here I am with my family at Jennifer, my granddaughter's wedding. My sister Ingrid Perkins, my daughter Celia and her husband Jerry Marchant. They live now in Oakley, Idaho. Here I am in the year 2000, my old home in Germany. Made another trip which I never thought I would do. Okay. I didn't know my voice.